witnessing, for the first time since the late 80s, market values that are decreasing. I started valuing properties in 1960. And in 1960, they started going up at 3-4% a year, and you could bank on that. By the time they got into the 70s, they started to go up 10% a year. And by the time you hit 1986, they were going up 25% a year, and the market outpriced itself, and it dropped in 1989, 1990 at a rate of 10% a year. Leveled off, it was going up, peaked again in 2005, and it's been dropping ever since. So as we speak here tonight, yes, market value on average for residential properties are decreasing. Absolutely not. The taxes are predicated upon the budgetary demands. Yes, sir. Yes, we have to inspect all properties. Number one, if you put an added assessment on your house, let's say 5 years ago, you built an addition. The assessor went out, looked at it, and he appraised that addition, but he appraised it in what we call a base year concept. What would that addition be worth when all of the values were established at the time of your last revaluation? So that's already incorporated into your existing assessment. Yes. Grab this. That's right here. What set of years? Oh, years.
We usually use 3 years, and I think 3 years will be a good snapshot. I'd like to see, where we've been since 2007. I know that the peak was 2005, believe it or not, in this area. Values were still holding strong through 2006. So I'd like to see, what has happened since 2007. Yeah, that's a good question. We will do. The question is, if you have a neighborhood, and this is the way I interpret the question, if you have a neighborhood where you have very few sales and it's a relatively small neighborhood, will you look at surrounding neighborhoods to compare, to try and help value that neighborhood which is lacking in sales? Is that the question? Right, and the town. And it's a good question because in addition to dropping values, what we've experienced in the last couple towns we've done is just a lack of sales. There's been a glut of homes on the market, and it's not getting any better. Data released today actually shows a continued increase in the volume of sales, most likely foreclosure sales. Last town I had a problem in Essex and Roseland. It was difficult because there were just so few sales. So yeah, we will go back a little bit further than 3 years if we have to, utilizing our trends to help us, or we'll look at similar neighborhoods that may have sales, and that might help us at the levels there. But you do the best you can with what you have. I don't think there would be a need to look at another township. I think that you're starting to get thin, very thin in your comparison when you start comparing other towns, although South Orange does share, the high school, so there are some similarities, but I'd like to stay within Maplewood.
You have to stay within the same economic district, which would be the municipal boundaries, because other towns have different budgetary demands, and so you're comparing apples with oranges if you're doing that. Yeah. The exception is if you're valuing, let's say, a country club, and you're looking for comparable sales for the Maplewood Country Club within Maplewood. There's only one country club. So you look statewide or in the north area for country clubs that have sold for comparability in that instance. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's a good point too. One of the charts that I did throw up there was actually a chart which shows not only length of time on the market, but also shows the ultimate selling price versus what it was originally listed for. Back in 2005, homes were selling for more than they were originally listed for by 5–10% because of bidding wars, and nowadays. You might see homes that are selling for 15 to 20% less than what they're originally listed for. So that's important to us. And then of course, how long are these properties sitting on the market, as well as the volume of sales that are actually in a particular neighborhood. You may have 3 sales, and if those 3 sales are listed, if those 3 sales are surrounded by 25 sales that are listed but not selling, that could speak to the market in that particular neighborhood.
Back here. Back, yes.
Has a life estate, and she is over 80 years of age. Should she be paying the real estate taxes at all? If she must continue to pay the real estate taxes, does her senior citizen status qualify her for a reduction in taxes?
Well, there is a senior deduct. I believe it's only $250, but you can apply for the senior citizen deduct. As far as her life estate, our job is to value the real estate and the real estate alone. So we will. Yes.
All right, I'm going to continue down. Yes.
Yeah, I think we kind of touched on that before with the answer on the what's called an added assessment. Firstly, remember, our values are as of October 1, 2010, the condition as of that date. Obviously, we have to start the inspection process now in order to complete it by then, but we will go back out to a property that we've been to, say, tomorrow, if they put a deck on the property or an addition on the property this summer. We'll go back with that particular file and simply just inspect that, what was added or what was improved, and add that to the card so we can be complete with that card as of October 1st. Now, if you were to add something to the house, say, next year in 2011, then the assessor is obligated to go out, measure that, and give you what's called an added assessment based on the new value that we arrived at.